Poa Annua has spread everywhere. It's all through the entire lawn. Welcome to The Art of Gardening. I'm your host, Melissa Lala Johnson, and today I am discussing something that's not so great, having Poa Triv and Poa Annua in your lawn. So I want to explain a little bit about our journey with this, because how we believe it got here was through a bag of bad grass seed. The seed heads are so small for annual and rough bluegrass that we believe they got put inside of a bag of mix when we were purchasing grass blends that had Kentucky bluegrass. And how I kind of know this is what happened is because we reseed in small patches in the fall when we're fixing different areas. And so over the years, we started to notice these small circles of Poa Trivialis, which shows up as a very bright green color in the spring. And with all the different types of hybrid blends of the different fescues, because we prefer to use triple blend tall fescue here in our property. And then some years we'll mix in bluegrass just because it gives it that nice deep green color in the cool season. So what happened is over the years, we had been doing these different bags of seed, and we were noticing that around the mid to end of June, we were getting a lot of different brown dead patches where the bulk of the grass was dying. We have tried everything. We had all these different companies come out to give us different opinions on what they thought it was. Nobody ever knew what it was. A lot of people just told us it was fungus. So we were treating for all these different things with no help whatsoever. And every single year over the course of the past 4 or 5 years, we've had this problem. So this past year, we started working with Ryan Lawn Care, and our service provider came out and he immediately looked at our lawn and he said, "Your lawn is full of Poa Trivialis and Poa Annua." So like I said, the Poa Triv shows up as this chartreuse color, like a limey color, like green. But then it very quickly turns to a beautiful deep green color and blends right in. So while this was happening in the beginning, I thought, okay, well, we're buying all these different hybridized types of fescue every single year, and it looked so beautiful that I assumed it was a different type of hybridized blend and kind of didn't think anything of it, not paying attention to the spots of where it was. And now fast forward to today, knowing that's what it is, now we know what to look for. The Poa Annua is a little different. So the Poa Triv grows kind of straight up in these, in the lime green, turns very quickly within a few days to the dark green. But then when it starts to go dormant around this time, mid-June, to the end of June, it will start to kind of flatten out, and then it kind of snuffs out anything that's around it. It goes dormant, and then it pops back up in the fall. So really hard to see it, but for when it comes up, and it is that lime green color. The Poa Annua is making a flowered seed head every single year. So even if you cut your lawn super short and immediately you're getting the flowery seed head, you'll know that's the Poa Annua. So it's very, very difficult to treat each of these grasses. The Poa Trivialis, really and truly the only way it can be treated is to put Roundup on the yard. So we have finally decided this year to stop messing with this. And now that we know what it was, we have put Roundup through a variety of different places all through the yard. I mean, it looks absolutely terrible and it has given me tremendous anxiety, but I know it's all for the better. And I know that now we're getting this stuff out of here. So next year will be really fantastic. So they recommend that you kill it in the spring when you can see it, and then reseed in the fall. We have tried to reseed now because we do have irrigation, but the issue is in Kansas City, we get 100-degree days multiple times through the summer, and that just absolutely cooks baby grass. So it's really hard unless you're running the water constantly to be able to manage that. So we gave it a shot with seeding. It's probably not gonna work in some of the areas, but I'll just do my best to keep that out of my pictures when I post on Instagram. So that's the Poa Triv, killing in spring, reseeding in fall. The Poa Annua is a little different. There are a couple different pre-emergents that you can spray in the fall because that seed head is happening right now. So in May, to the first week or two of June, that's when it's really active and you'll see those little seed heads kind of growing everywhere. When that gets cut, the seed heads go everywhere and then they are coming up and germinating in the fall as soon as it cools off. So both of these grasses, these noxious grasses, are cool weather grasses, which is why they look so fabulous in the cool weather. Great in the spring, great in the fall. So we will be treating, which we did a little bit of that last year when we first started catching on to this, but I think we were a little too late with the pre-emergent. And we did some pre-emergent this spring for Poa Annua, which I do think is actually a pre-emergent and a growth regulator. So it did slow the Poa Annua down a little bit, but I will be reposting about this again in the fall after we do that pre-emergent. And I know for sure that what we're doing works. I will be posting that for you and putting some more information in the caption. So definitely check that out about what the brands are that we used for the pre-emergent growth regulator. So over the course of all of this, now the Poa Annua has spread everywhere. It's all through the entire lawn. So a couple of different options with that. It will take us multiple seasons of the pre-emergent to make sure that the growth just continues to decrease every single year as we're doing our fall renovation and planting out. But the trick is we're not going to be able to reseed this fall if we put down a pre-emergent. So it's going to be a little bit of a balancing act. And if we do the pre-emergent and we hit it just right, we may be able to get some seeding in at the very end of the season, like maybe October 15th-ish. We may be able to get some seed down and get something established. But we may have to switch things around where in the spring we're doing pre-emergence. We may have to seed next spring early and see if maybe we can get that to work. So again, keep an eye out in your lawn for these grasses, because they're very easy to see in the spring. And if you start to see the seed heads, make sure that you're pulling that grass up or bag mowing. The issue is here, we're cutting an acre of grass, so I can't really bag everything. I mean, that would be just a huge feat, which it may come to that. I don't know. But for right now, I'm not bagging. I'm just trying to go more with the regulators to see if that will help us. So a couple of things that can help make this a little easier. When you are using your Roundup, I highly recommend that you use a surfactant with your Roundup. So when you mix the Roundup, you'll put in your very small quantity. I think it's a tablespoon of surfactant. I prefer Petromax. It's a surfactant to make your herbicide stronger. The link will be in the caption. And so essentially what a surfactant does is it's kind of like a soap. And so when the herbicide goes down onto the shoots of the grass, it sticks better with a surfactant. If you don't have a surfactant, it doesn't allow the herbicide to really attach to the blade of grass or whatever it is that you're spraying as well. And so you'll get kind of spotty treatment without using a surfactant. If you use a surfactant, you're almost 100% guaranteed to be able to get it in that spot, or keep it on the grass. Now, to make sure you're getting it in the exact spot that you want it, you can use Sprayer's Blue and add that also to your herbicide surfactant mixture. And what that will do is it's a blue tracker. It's water soluble, so it will wash away. But while you're spraying the areas where you're trying to treat, so when you're going to go over top of those circles of the lime green, you'll be able to see exactly where you're spraying with the blue tracker. And then last but not least, I ended up going back over the areas that were completely dead, and I sprayed them with green grass paint because it makes it just a little easier to stomach all of this when I'm looking at my beautiful lawn that we have spent 12 years now in making sure that everything looks so beautiful. All the time, the energy, the money that has gone into this yard to see the yard look like this is sickening. So spraying it with some green grass paint definitely helps kind of calm it down a little bit and allows for the baby grasses to come up. So it's not as much of an eyesore, and then it allows us to have the baby grass come up. So a couple different things. When you are mixing the blue tracker and the green grass paint, you're not mixing all of these things together. The green grass paint is the only thing that's separate. So you're mixing your herbicide, your surfactant, and your Sprayer's Blue in one container. You're spot treating for that. A week or two goes by. As soon as it's dead and completely brown, then you're able to go over top of it with your green grass paint. And all this while, after we treated with the herbicide. After everything died, we went right over top of it with grass seed and sprinkled the grass seed. And in some areas where the grass wasn't too high, I did go back over with the mower and I mowed it down to about 2 inches, just getting rid of all of that dead grass. Those areas reseeded the best for us. Areas that we didn't get to, that the grass was still 3-4 inches long and dead, it was a lot harder for the grass to grow there. So you're definitely going to want to do your herbicide, wait a week or two until it's completely dead, use your push mower with a bag on it, or use your lawn mower and go over it at a 2-inch setting and cut it down nice and clear so that you can actually see what's going on. Then you can seed, sprinkle with some soil, with some lawn soil to cover your seed, keep that really well watered. And then after about a week or two, then I went back over it with the green grass paint. The green grass paint is non-toxic and does not hurt anything. So I've sprayed it right over top of baby grasses and they're fine. So the green grass paint is also a permanent paint. So it does paint the grass shoots that were dying and dead and just kind of makes that all look very good. I use the green grass paint throughout the entire season here on my lawn where we have drought issues or where the dogs may go to the bathroom. I can kind of shoot it with that. I learned about green grass paint years ago, listening to superintendent podcasts for golf courses. So this is what the golf courses are doing. When they're having issues, they spray it with the green grass paint, allow the new seed to come up, and then everything kind of makes its way through the whole growing process. So if you have any questions about this, definitely please leave them in the caption. Or if you have any experience with this, as I said, this is something that kind of came upon us in the last year. We've been researching it. My husband and I both have been nonstop researching this, trying to find exactly how we should handle this. So right now we're in the process of renovating the lawn to get rid of the Poa Triv especially, and Poa Annua will happen over a few seasons. Hopefully we'll get this regulated. But it is crazy because when I saw this years ago, it should have triggered me at that moment to look into it. And just looking into it for 5 minutes, I would have been able to see, I got to get rid of that grass that's making flower heads so early in the season. Here I thought it was just some amazing fescue that I was going to cut and that it was going to reseed immediately. And everything did reseed. So knowing what you're getting involved in and knowing, taking a look around, taking a minute to check out your lawn, check out the different areas will avoid situations like this in the future. The good news is there are products out there like the herbicide, like the surfactants, the herbicides, the sprayer's blue, the green grass paint that can help kind of curb the horrible eyesore of it all. But at the end of the day, it would be nice to not have to deal with any of this. So if you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below, and let's grow together and hopefully get through this. I will be making a lot of different posts coming up soon. So check out my page at Fancy Flower Farmer, and of course PetraMax and PETRATOOLS, where we are constantly showcasing these amazing products that can help you be a better gardener and have a perfect lawn. Thanks for watching, and we will see you again soon.